real quick. We're at the Naval Support Activity here in Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. So we're in the check-in line. I gotta run my paperwork inside and do all that good stuff. I figured real quick before we get unloaded, since you haven't seen it. Ain't nothing special. It's one big ass container. So it was a 20-footer. 20-footer has something in it. It's 15,000 pounds. It rode pretty good all the way out here, so can't complain. But anyways, I'm not gonna waste time. Let's get this done. Alright, so the end of the day, Friday. Just picked up our last load. Got some steel sheets. Wasn't exactly my ideal load for the weekend, because we are only going about 200 miles just to the other end of Pennsylvania. We're going back over towards, I think it's somewhere around Allentown. There's 2 stops. These big sheets are 1 stop, and then that little pallet up there is a 2nd stop. So I'm gonna get everything secured. It does need to be tarped, so I'll get a tarp on it. It's only about, I think they said it's 12,800 pounds, something like that, so it's not too bad. Should be nice and easy. So yeah, we got all weekend to do a 200-mile drive, so that's where we're at right now. I did come over here so you can see I did get the truck washed. So it's nice and clean again. See the other side of that load. So what I'll probably do is I'll do 2 straps over the sides here, and then either 1 big one over the middle or 2 like 2-inch straps over there. Well, actually I need to get something over that, so probably 1 big one over that, and then I'll do 2 or 3 straps. When they were loading this pallet here, this one broke, as you could tell, so they had to quickly rig up some extra supports under there, reband it. That's what these are that are sticking out. So overall though, it'll be fine, and should be easy. that load right there, or that pallet, was up on that front stack, which is where I would prefer it. We got more weight towards the rear than the front, but that's okay. I should still be able to get away without having to run that axle. So yeah, anyways, that's it. I'm gonna get this strapped and tarped. I'll talk to you here in a minute. All right, so this is how we ultimately ended up strapping. Put a 2-inch strap right here because this winch thing doesn't go over, doesn't slide. So I got that there. 1 4-inch over the loose stack up there, another 4 over here. 4, 2, 4. Reason why I went with 3, 1, just because I like to go overboard, but 2, with the way these are shaped, you can better see it over here. See how it bows? That's not with very much downward pressure, and because we got a fairly decent sized stack here, I was debating on doing a belly wrap and doing some through here, but the way it is, it's fine. These things don't weigh much, so we're just gonna do 3 over the top like this, and things will be all right. As long as I don't have to hit the brakes super hard, even then, I don't think it's gonna shift. So that's what we got. Next up is tarping. So for those who don't know, I run a 25-foot vinyl steel tarp. It is a 4-foot drop, meaning it drops down 4 feet. It is 8.5 feet wide and 25 feet long. There are no end flaps. I would like for it to have end flaps, but there aren't. And this has been my go-to tarp for the last almost 2 years now, serving me well. Got some padding down. I got 4 on this corner and then 2 up there. That little stack isn't too bad, so I'm not worrying about it. So yeah, roll out the tarp, get to strapping or bungeeing, and this time I'll make sure these don't fall off and I get more holes in the tarp. All right, so my general method for tarping: first, get everything to where it's tucked up underneath, so shove everything up underneath, and then what I'll do is I'll find the leading edge of the product right about there, and then I'll take a bungee cord to that closest D-ring, run it forward and back to itself to keep it tight. I'll do this on all 4 corners before I start, after I fold everything up, and it makes it easier as far as keeping the tarp center and then bungeeing. Okay, so everything's tucked up. I got that leading edge. It's right at the front of the product. It's just loosely tied down here. It's just to keep it in spot. Tuck everything up underneath. Do the same thing at the rear. This is the closest part to the back of the product. You don't want to go past it because this will end up getting tucked in that way. So just ran it down just enough to keep it snug. Did the same thing on this side. Ended up being this one down here and up on the front. So next step I usually do is just start securing down the side of the truck, and then I worry about the ends last. Another thing that I do when I start bungee cording is I'll work in the corners. So I'll do 2 or 3 bungee cords on this corner, 2 or 3 over there, 2 or 3 over there, 2 or 3 over here. That way, if you just keep going down one side, it's going to slowly walk the tarp over. I want to keep it nice and equal. So here's some tarping ideas, or some strap bungee cord ideas. So on this one I use a variety of different styles, if you want to call it. So one trick I have learned: put your bungee cords, the hook, through the fabric of the D-ring. Do not use the D-ring itself, because when you do, you'll often get marks like those. It's where the hook will dig in. Even if you have the crimped versions like this, it will still want to dig into the tarp. Now, you'll still run into some of that, like over here, where it's wanting to twist it because it's not getting enough force. So it's still going to want to rub a little bit, but it's much better than having a direct point. Plus, with the hook in there, it's actually laying flat in the fabric, So you shouldn't have to worry about, you know, that fabric ripping. And I've been doing this for this tarp for, well, over a year and a half now, and it's been holding up pretty well. So that's what I do there. So one style is just D-ring, wrap it around the rub rail, up to the next one. No big deal, call it the V. Same thing for what we did here. This one here, because the tarp is a little bit taller here, it's just running down to the second row, no big deal. Continuing to do that. Here's why I call lacing. So we have one bungee cord that comes down, up, and then I pull it through the D-ring and straight down to the bottom of the truck. It gives it a downward force, and just makes use for the extra bungee cord you have. I could probably do that right here if I wanted to. There's still a lot of slack there if I wanted to, but we'll pass. I did it right here, not right here. So that's that type. We come over to this other side. You got a more traditional V or mountains, whatever you want to call it. I've heard both. Just up and down, no big deal. Over here is a little bit different. I have them coming down and lacing, so I have it pulling straight forward through that ring and down. Yes, I know some of these bungee cords are getting old. I need to get some new ones. But that's what I'm doing there. Up here is getting a little weird. We're gonna ignore this part. So, closing up the ends. Because this tarp doesn't have flaps, what you have to do is first secure the inside. So go to these rings here, secure them, and what I do is I get a cord and pull them that way. So that's pulling up against the product like this. You're essentially wrapping a Christmas present. Once you get those tight, simply fold this end in and close it up. All right, and that's a tarp job. So we got a little bit left over down here, but this is pretty tight. Ooh, a pillar. Anyways, this is pretty tight here. It's messy because this doesn't have a flap for the rear, so it gets a little ugly. I put long bungees on these flaps up here where there is no rings to just sort of hold it up tight, but that's pretty much that. Everything else is looking good. Tarp is nice and tight. A hole right there that I'm gonna patch. Up here is a little questionable or a little loose around here, but I think we'll be all right. And again, just a little bit exposed of just the wood, but the steel is all underneath there and it's wrapped, so we're good. And it's a short drive. Weather should be dry. I'm sweaty, and so I'm not too worried about water. And yeah, if it was a longer drive, I'd probably do a little bit better trying to get that to be completely sealed, but you get what we got. Boy, I wish I had a Conestoga. That'd make my life easier. But anyways, it took us about a half hour, I believe, maybe a little bit more. Wasn't exactly rushing. We're in no hurry now, so we'll find ourselves the park. By the way, I never said we're in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Picked up a little steel plant here, but yeah, we're in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, so I'm a little ways away from any major truck stops, so I need to find a place that I can get a shower. As much as I would love to just stop and park at a Sheetz or something like that, they don't have showers. So I'm gonna get on the old trucker path and see what's close by that I can shower at. So we'll park it kind of early today. It's probably, I think, going on 4 right now. We'll park it a little early, get cleaned up. We'll get as close as we can to, I think it's Leela, Pennsylvania. It's East Pennsylvania. We'll get as close as we can there, park it, because we have, like I said, the 2 drops, they're within like 5 miles of each other, so it's really close by. And then we're going to shoot down into Baltimore, Sparrows Point, Maryland, and we're going to pick up 6 pallets of coils, so palletized coil steel, and we're going to run that out to West Virginia. I can't remember where it is. Load pays really good, so that's all I care about. And that one will weigh about 21,000 pounds. I think it's actually just shy of 22. So we're gonna be right up there on the weight, but the old girl will handle it. I saw one person ask me, I haven't replied to the comments yet as of filming this, but someone asked me if this truck is double framed, and it is not. So it's just a single frame. Double frame meaning there'd be another piece of C-channel inside of that one there, and there's not. You can sort of see, I can't tell from here, but there's a little bit of daylight that peeks in between the frame of the truck and the frame of the bed. But in case you guys were curious, as you can tell, this bed is bolted to this frame, and you can tell, I can tell at least, it is definitely sagging a little bit right here. This truck can handle the weight. I'm sure it doesn't like it. I know I don't, but we're gonna make it work. And basically we'll just, because it's 6 pallets, it'll be 3, 2, 2, and 2. We'll just spread the weight out some and we'll be all right. But whatever new truck I get in the future will either be a double framed or it's going to be a thicker C-channel, higher PSI steel. So that's for in the future though. I've said it before, I just want this truck to last for another 1.5 years or so. Hopefully the world will stabilize, and then maybe I'll think about getting something new and put the old girl on reserve. By then she'll be over 1 million miles. So I'm excited to see her get there though. Old medium duty truck like this, you don't really expect it to reach 1 million miles, but boy, I'm gonna make this one go there. I got no choice. So anyways, I'm just sitting here rambling now. I'm probably gonna end this video here. That way I could just focus. I still gotta clean up over there, so I could just focus on getting cleaned up for the night. But here, I'll close that up. So anyways, walk back for a minute to give you one more good look. I'm probably gonna end this video here so that I can focus on getting cleaned up tonight. And I'll edit this video probably tomorrow on Saturday. If I find some extra clip to get in there, I'll throw it in. But other than that, I'll talk to you guys later.